All right, so there I was, just like any other night, curled up like a kitten in my bed, just sleeping like this, like a little baby. Thank you. And when all of a sudden, my alarm goes off at some terrible hour in the morning, and I reach over and I smash that alarm because I'm very grumpy in the morning. I smash it. When I reach over to smash it, I feel this like waterfall of tension and like pain going down my neck. I tweaked it when I went like this, and I was feeling just incredibly old in the moment. And then just, I couldn't, like my shoulders, everything froze up. I had to sit here in bed, and I was like, how am I gonna get out of bed? So I grabbed my hair like this, and I literally, so I wouldn't engage my neck muscles, just like pulled my hair up and pulled me out of bed. I was like, something is terribly wrong right now. And I was like walking around like Minecraft Steve, like couldn't like figure out how to I go to the chiropractor. I was like, Doc, you gotta fix me. Something's seriously wrong back here. You gotta fix me. He's like, all right, well, let's get some x-rays. We'll figure this out, like sit down. And he goes, so like, tell me, like, was there a point of trauma or something? Did something like traumatic happen to you? Or was there a point of impact? I had to think about it for a second. Thinking. I can't think of anything, Doc. I couldn't think of anything that could have caused what was going on in my body right now. And you know, things like that happen to me on a fairly regular basis. I get hurt a lot, but there's never like a point where this is an emergency. We need to call an ambulance. It's a gradual thing. It's like slowly, a little bit, until it's like, boom, all of a sudden, something happens. And sometimes you just need an adjustment, and I needed an adjustment. And we're talking about this sermon series called Gratitude Adjustment. And we didn't just pick up gratitude because it's Thanksgiving and we thought it'd be cute. We're not saying, hey, you guys just need to learn better manners. Just say like, please and thank you. That's not the point of this whole sermon. We all are gonna need adjustments from time to time. And we picked gratitude because gratitude is one of those foundational things. If we can get this, it will change everything else in your life. Can you think of a functional relationship that you have that doesn't involve some sort of like being thankful for the other person? It affects everything. Your intimacy with God. You can't even really have a relationship with God if there's no sense of like appreciation for him. So we've got to get this whole gratitude thing right. And the good news is this, okay? None of us were born being grateful. How many of you grow up with like babies in the house? A few of you? Babies, man, they gangster. They just scream about everything. From the second they came out, it's not like, thanks, Mom, for delivering for like 24 hours. It's just like, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I have to poop. And it's like, but you don't know, like, Steve really hates babies. No, they don't know any better, right? They don't know any better. And then they get a little older and they learn sign language. And even that looks aggressive. You've been like, this means yes? Like, are you trying to fight me, bro? Like, what? This is poop? Like, it's just everything kind of seems, they don't know how to be grateful. But what the shame is if we get into our lives and we get out of diapers, but we still act like we're in diapers. We still communicate without a sense of gratitude and urgency. And I want to say 90% of the world is not getting this. I'll show you where I get this. 9 out of 10 are not getting this. And I want this room to get this. I want me in my heart, I want to get this whole gratitude thing. So we're going to jump into a story in Luke chapter 17. We're going to be talking about some leopards here. Sorry, I tried that joke earlier and nobody got the leopards thing. I grew up, I was really lost on this. I was thinking like jungle cats, like growing up. And so I was like, does Jesus like heal animals? Like, you guys are way smarter than me, okay? So for me, I needed some connections here. But for you, lepers, we're gonna talk about the 10 lepers and the thing you need to know about leprosy, okay? How often do you hear that? The thing you need to know about leprosy. The thing you need to know is like, if you got it, You would lose sensation in like all of your like fingers, your feet. You would start to lose feeling. And then you would lose like muscle dexterity. Like you wouldn't be able to use your muscles very well. And basically it was a long, slow, and painful death. And just imagine sitting across from somebody you love and then being like, oh, you have leprosy. From that moment, you would lose your family, like your mom and dad. If you had a spouse, you would lose them. You would lose your children. You would lose your home, everything about you, your career if you had one, and you were just sent off. You just gotta go. You gotta go away. You gotta get to the outskirts of town. Maybe you're homeless. Maybe you lived in some kind of tent community. It was not good. It was a slow and painful death process if you had leprosy. So this is where we pick up the story with Jesus, because he's just chilling with his homies in chapter 17, verse 11, if you got your physical Bibles. And Jesus continued towards Jerusalem, and he reached the border between Galilee and Samaria. And he entered a village there, and 10 men, how many men? 10. As he entered the village, 10 men with leprosy stood at a distance, crying out, Jesus! Master! Heal us, have mercy! Why are they shouting? Why couldn't they just come up to him? They're sick. If they even approached Jesus, they would have some serious consequences. They can't even get close to another person. Can you imagine how lonely that is? So they had to shout at him from a distance, have mercy on us. And he looked at them and he said, go, show yourselves to the priests. And they went and they were cleansed of their leprosy. And one of them, how many? When he saw that he was healed, came back to Jesus shouting, praise God. And he fell to the ground. And I don't want you guys to miss this. This is so crucial. He fell to the ground where? At Jesus' feet, thanking him for what he had done. And this man was a Samaritan. This man went from being completely isolated to now being included. He went from being completely alone, and now he was loved. He could actually touch his feet. He went from being a piece of throwaway garbage. Nobody wanted anything to do with him, and now he was precious. This man's life was changed, but not just this man. All 10 of them, their lives were changed. In verse 17, Jesus asked, didn't I heal 10 men? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give glory to God except for this foreigner? And Jesus said to the man, stand up and go. Your faith has healed you. All 10 of them got healed. Only one of them returned. All 10 of them got healed, whether they thanked God or not, but only one of them actually returned. They had this small window of opportunity. Jesus was on the move. They had this small opportunity to come back and thank Jesus. And I was just sitting in this story and I was like, if I had gotten healed and I was able to go home and hug my kids again and hold my wife again and walk in the door of my house again, man, you couldn't hold me back. I would be running so fast. So part of me was like, man, I get it. I get it. Were they not grateful? They didn't show their gratitude. They might have been grateful. I'm sure they were. Their lives were completely changed. The problem is that they didn't show their gratitude. And a lot of times we can feel gratitude in our hearts, but it's not complete until we show it. So our main thought for tonight is that gratitude is an action, not just a feeling. Gratitude is an action. How many of you have ever been accused of being ungrateful? Does not feel good, right? Has anybody ever been like, they're so entitled? That hurts. Actually, while I was preparing this message this week, I had a conflict with my wife, and she was completely right. She's like, hey, I'm doing this, and this. I just don't feel like you're grateful. And guess what your godly speaker did? I got mad. I was like, I am so grateful for you. You have no idea how grateful I am for you. In this way, and this, and I see this, and I see this, and I see this. But you know what the problem is? Is that your gratitude can only be felt by somebody else when you express it. They're not gonna feel it if you don't express it. It's not just the intention that you have, it's actually the follow-through that you have. Like, your teachers do not care if you're like, I intended to do my assignment. Like, great, good for you, F. Your mom doesn't care if you intended to clean your room. It's not done. Your dog doesn't care if you intended to walk him. You leave, you come back, there's gonna be a big old turd on your carpet, okay? Intentions do not go as far as action. And gratitude is more, I'm sure that they felt grateful, but it wasn't complete until they expressed it. I've got a piece of real high tech right here, all right? You guys see this? Garage door, not high tech. These have been around for a little bit. Not complicated. The only thing you gotta know about this is this, all this does is this sends a signal. When I click the button, then it sends a signal all the way over to where my motor is, and that has a receiver on it. That's all it does. So about a year ago, it was the middle of winter, and my wife, my kids, we're all going to the airport at some terrible hour in the morning, and I get out and I do the clicker, not working. Back up, get closer, do the clicker, still not working. And I get out of the car and I'm just like, getting frustrated. It's early, remember? I'm grumpy in the morning. So I'm like going up, button mashing like it's like some video game, like, come on, work. You're probably like, Steve, why didn't you just go over to the wall and push the button? I did, okay? I went over to the wall and I hit the button. And then you gotta run out of the garage, like you got the laser, you gotta jump over it. You guys know what I'm talking about? The laser, you gotta jump over it, but the garage is coming down, so you're kind of doing this like Backstreet Boy thing, like jumping out. There's no cool way to do this. The problem is that my intentions were not being received. I thought I was sending a signal, but there was actually no batteries in it. I wasn't sending a signal. And for us, I would hate for us, the 9 out of 10, I pray that in this room, in my heart, that we are not the 9 out of 10, where God has done something powerful in our lives, and we don't thank him for it. And we don't invite him in. We're just like, cool, that's great. I'm gonna go about my life. I want my gratitude to God to be expressed. Don't let your thankfulness go unheard. The challenge for you guys tonight, there's people in your life, you are not here today, whether you're in a good place, bad place, you are not here today just because of yourself. There have been people that have been in your corner. There's people in this room who are in your corner. Have you ever told them how thankful you are for them? Because if you haven't expressed it, how are they supposed to feel it? Gratitude is an action, it's not just a feeling. It's not complete until we express it. So the challenge for today, think of maybe 3 people. Jesus can definitely be one of them. So you only gotta think of 2 now, okay? Talk to Jesus first and express your gratefulness for the things that he's done in your life. Because we all need adjustments. If we get this adjustment right, it will change the course of your life and will open doors. I'm not just talking about garage doors. I'm talking about all sorts of doors in your life. Doors of intimacy with Jesus. How are you supposed to have intimacy with Jesus if you've never even thanked him for what he's done in your life? So my challenge is that. Think of all the people that mean a lot to you, but you might have been silent about it. Might not have been a jerk about it, but maybe you've just been silent about it. They need to hear that.